Alrighty, it's the day after here, so I might as well show a few things. I'm just moving a bit of glass and that I had outside so the sheep don't get in. Most of it's just flat panel, but I've got a few bits like that. But that one, going to try and break out the wood and get out the individual sheets. I've got some massive sheets in there, you can probably see. Yeah, but anyway, I also realised I've got a thing that had changed my oil and sitting down there and I didn't even know it was there. But anyway, just a bit of temporary crapo fence. I'm going to put a slightly better one. Well, I was thinking, but the fact of the matter is I don't know I could really be bothered because I almost never come through here anyway. But I might because I've got it. Here's what I've done with the plum trees. All around at the base there. They're protected from the, oh, there goes a bird, little buggers that have been chewing away at the base. Little rabbits. I've got all this in. This is, I had to bust up the concrete. I've thrown a bit of dirt and old lumps of concrete back in. But yeah, she good concrete there, and I've put all this on. I've still got to put little bits of wire just through here just to secure it. But that's actually pretty good. You get areas where you can't really do anything about it, so you've got to block it up with rocks and bricks and crap. But that should keep old Bar out of there and give me a chance to, well, give them a chance to survive without getting torn to shreds by sheep. Except these two are likely that they're going to be torn to bits by the sheep, and quite honestly, between Madeira Vine and bloomin' Boxthorn, they'll be battling regardless. So we had a snake going here yesterday actually. Still got some old sheep metal actually sitting in there. Oh no, that's part of some other blasted thing. God blimey. It's never ending old crap around here. You know, I'll go out through here. There's a couple of bits of sheet metal left around that area that I never got to bloomin' picking up, but there's a lot of bits that are going to be going soon, including the vast majority of this random crap. Except I'll keep those heavy bits of plate there for something. That is all the gangles, some of which I'm going to try and get into back at the skyline before that goes. Just little short dangly ass bits, you know, try and move all that into the skyline, or the majority of it. And then that's out of the way, and then we can do some rather fast packing. And there's, of course, I swear I was before, there's some reasonable size sheets and whatnot. I even pulled out an old kerosene fridge door out from under the box thorns about, well, when was it? Not yesterday, but the day before. You know, there's a bit of wood continuing to grow. I still got to pick up the majority of the wood. He's got some decent sized logs and all this too. Here's what I done with the, what's his name? Silverbeet. I just chucked an old log over there. There's an old bit of post just to keep some Bar's noses out of that. Lambs are particularly shonky because they're so small, and they'll try and bloom and make a go at getting under, whereas the sheep will just think, what's the point? And they're also sort of more immature and more curious, a lot more curious lambs are than sheep. Just the maturity of the animal, obviously, mental maturity. But yeah, belted a bit of this gear in here. I have actually wired this one up. This is completely finished. What I've got to try and do, this over here, lovely and green, isn't it? Very green, very tall compared to the rest of it. There's a good reason for that. Hopefully old Mr. Snake isn't in here, otherwise I'll be stuffed. It's just playing around with a bit of length, but that is the outlet there for the grey water. And from the, what's his name, laundry, it's actually quite common here to use grey water just straight on gardens. There's a lot of different fears they have in the US in regards to rainwater, and, you know, I'll have to distill me rainwater, and what about the bird shit? We don't worry about all that stuff. Drink the rainwater with the bird shit in it. Everybody does. And the grey water gets poured on the garden. So I'm going to use all these old pipes I got here. try and make a thing out here. This is over my driveway. Something that I can just sort of disassemble and reassemble rather quickly. And if you know anything about those steel downpipes, actually smaller on one end than the other. So that's not too hard to deal with. But so I can give this a massive water. And this has perked up quite well after the 30 litres I put on there. Now this will be getting more than that when the washing machines go. Holy smoke, she might be getting 50 gallons or more. Like, it'll get a serious amount of water. So there's a chance that this will turn from being a gangly heap of shit into a luscious area. And that's why I've sort of fenced in more than I need, so the bugger can grow a bit more. There's also one, there, that's just about had it. Flipping bugs got into it. There's another one outside, but a lot of them aren't sort of going too well outside of the original big shitstorm of it. But, you know, now maybe they will have a chance if I make a point of running the water across to here, which is one of my projects I'm going to be working on today. Sheep are all disappeared. They're all gone down whoopee-doo. I think I mentioned in another video, I've finished off this stack and cleaned out all this old stuff over here. I moved the cement sheet. There's still a few 3 bits there I've got to whack on the big stack that were holding the cement sheet off the ground. I don't want sheep standing on cement sheet because it won't last long. Another big gangle that's coming out of the lemon grass. Yeah. Alrighty, well this is all tensioned up and got stays in there, and I was watering it just before. And almost all those are wired on. There's a couple where there's a few little bits that have turned to crap in 2 areas that I might go and try and wire up slightly better. But yeah, I mean, this is all standing upright. And the bars were hanging around in here, smashing down all the blooming thistles and getting stuck into everything. And I sort of went down and come back up, and then I closed the gate, and now the whole lot of bang off down the paddock. Who knows where? People that live down yonder will probably be saying, "Oh my gosh, the sheep are in there." Looking across at them, walking around. They're probably down there having a bun fight at all the blooming nice new food they got on. Good thing about all this is it's still green. And I mean, it's wasting away pretty quick, but having said that, you know, they got a chance to get into stuff while it's still nice and green, and I mean, you know, it's fun, man. It's pretty good, some of it. But it won't be for much longer, which was why we're making a desperate attempt to get them in really quickly. Because as you can see, there's areas here that are all starting to dry off and turn to shit, so it's, they can still eat them, but the nutritional value isn't really quite there when they're dried out. And if you've ever read anything on dehydrated foods, it's the same. Freeze-dried foods, you know, they're still quite good quality and whatnot. Dehydrated, you don't sort of have quite as much fantastic nutrition as you do when it's green, and this is well understood in regards to cattle feed and sheep feed. There's also times if you get good hay, you actually see the hay looks like a sort of like a olive greenish colour, but it's dry. And you know, your good hay will not look yellow. The more yellow it is, the more shit it is, to be quite honest. But you know, your stuff that's like almost like that, like a grey looking green, if you got hay bales like that, they're a lot better than your lovely golden yellow stuff in regards to nutrition. But of course the nutritional value does drop once it starts to dry out regardless. And of course anything with seeds in it is also a lot better than just plain grass. Straw is just plain grass pretty much with no seeds. Hay is the one that's got the seeds in it, I think. Yeah, it is, yeah. I still Still got to just wind up these gangles, but all this is done. We touched up a lot of that. Got chicken wire under where the agave plants are. I won't bother walking down there. Yeah, anyway, I think that pretty much covers everything that we've done. Yeah, I don't know if you can see down there, it's all drying off down below. Yeah, anyway, I better get back to playing around with bits of wire and whatnot. Oh, God, blimey, just pulling up this old bag, dog biscuit bag here, as I'm stacking all these glass tubes away and whatnot. And old Rabsy's decided to come out of the grass just there in front of the water containers. Headed straight for the fence, where I got the log. Couldn't get under it, and I thought, hang on a minute. So I started running, and I actually got him in that corner, got one of his legs in my right hand. He slipped out, kept bouncing along, come along to here, went under the glass, and kept going. The glass sheets that are sitting there, propped against the fence, and kept going, and I got up to the corner, and then when he got to the corner, I tried to corner him in that corner there, and then the sod just went bang and went straight on the house. I had him in my blasted right hand, little bugger. Should have flipping hung on harder. I'll tell you what. Proves one thing. That fence holds in a rabbit. That's pretty good. That's quite good. Oh, it's proven itself on the first day. Well, there's proof, people. That must have been when I grabbed him. A whole bunch of bloody furs come off. God, blimey. The heat was on there for a second, but it always is when you're chasing a rabbit, and I have caught rabbits by hand. There's another story I might as well tell you about while I'm out here. It was a... may sound rather cruel when I explain it. And I tried it again this morning, but it didn't work. Rabbit was in the grass. Sometimes they're dumb and they'll only run like 2 meters in the grass when they hear you coming. So they run from, you know, there, say, to over there or something like that. And what happens is, you basically see where they stop. And one time, and I tried it again this morning, but it didn't work, but one time I realised that it stopped in that clump of grass, and I just literally jumped on top of that lump of grass and just sat there, bang, bang, jumping all over the flaming place. And then I thought, that's funny. Didn't see him run off. Where's he gone? I trampled him to death. And, yeah, I was poking around with my foot sort of in the grass like that. And there's a sort of a rubbery spot sort of thing, like a bit sort of, you know, a bit like maybe just sort of a little bit bouncy sort of thing. And then I sort of spread the grass apart. Bingo. The rabbit was under there. And being a hillbilly, I ate him. And let's just say the meat was already tenderised. Alrighty, we are getting stuff done. I hacked the motors off that and chucked that beside the driveway there. We have successfully filled the skyline with all the little small gangly bits in this drum. Empty. That little line you can see there is a little part of the original bottom, which sort of helps it hold its shape. The stuff here, a lot of this is sort of the heavier bits of wire, some of the bits of sheet metal and like bits of pipe and bits of bar and stuff. Whole bits of bloomin' plough pieces and crap that's heavy enough and large enough to sit on the bottom without being just a whole heap of flakes and crap. we've got so far tonight that... There's a second here. I actually got out the silicon spray. I've just come back from my father's joint. He got the jack out of this and got it oiled up and going again. I got the silicon spray under this and loosened all these off. Now they're just, only taken out like about one turn or whatever. But tomorrow, it's getting a bit cold now. I've got to go inside and have a shower and that. Tomorrow I'll get the jack underneath that I've just got in the back of my car and take the wheels off and put it on a few logs, and then she's ready to go. I've got to just clear all this here muck off and whatnot, and probably just throw that over on one of the things here or whatever. Yeah, she's packed in, full on packed in, right up the flipping glass. We got it all in. A few other odds and sods off here. This is where the glass pipes were. I got all those in. I got some of the sheets of glass in. I've got to go and get the rest of the sheets of glass at the back tomorrow, and worked out a little process where I drop them on the milk crate and then jump over and take them in to where they've got to be. But yeah, I sort of the other odd random thing or two around here that probably should be moved or taken care of. The old door was here, now over on the stack. And flowers decided, they just closed up as the colds come out. But before, these were like not even open in the morning, and they opened up and then they closed up again. So they opened up for the first time of the day on that one. And yeah, things are looking pretty happy and pretty successful, and the old spring onions are coming along all right there, and lemon-scented verbenas is going better than I've ever seen it, probably. Yeah, finally getting stuff rolling around here.